Hello, welcome once again. Today we're going to look at the last section of mountains. But before we continue with today's lesson, let us look at what we did in the previous lesson. In the previous lesson, we talked about the types of mountains. Already we know that mountains are landforms that stretches above the surrounding lands. So we looked at the types of landforms. We looked at the volcanic mountains, fold mountains, and block mountains. We said volcanic mountains are mountains that are formed as a result of the cooling and solidification of lava. Remember we said when magma erupts onto the surface, the name changes from magma to lava. So when this lava cools and solidifies, they form volcanic mountains. We looked at some examples. We talked about the Mauna Kea of the United States, the Mauna Loa also of the United States, and the Mount Kilimanjaro of Africa. Then we looked at fold mountains. We said fold mountains are mountains that are bent into upfolds and downfolds. We said the upfolds of fold mountains are known as anticlines, and the downfolds of fold mountains are known as synclines. And fold mountains are formed when compressional force acts on two cyclic blocks or plates, and when these plates collide, the rocks that have been formed in the geosyncline raises up into upfolds and downfolds, forming a fold mountain. We looked at the type of folds, where we talked about the simple fold, where we said with a simple fold the limbs are equal. Then with the asymmetrical folds or the inclined fold, one side is steeper than the other. Then we talked about the overfold. With overfold, the continuous pressure of the compressional force causes one fold to override the other. And when it completely overrides it, we call it the recumbent fold. And with time, there will be a breakage from the anticline, from the syncline, and that is what we term as the overthrust. We also talked about the block mountain, where we said block mountains are mountains that are formed as a result of compressional and tensional forces. Sometimes the plates collide, pushing the middle rock above, forming a block mountain. Sometimes too, tensional force causes two plates to diverge, causing the submergence of the middle land, leaving the two blocks standing as mountains. And we said when the land drops, what it forms what we call the graben. We also looked at the difference between block mountain and a host. We said when the mountain is tilted, or when the mountain lies diagonally, it is called block mountain. But when it lies vertically or more straight, it is known as a host. So the main difference between the host and the block mountain is how the mountain stands. If it is diagonal, it is block mountain. When it is vertical, it is known as a host. So this is what we looked at the other time. Let's have a quick exercise on this. We'll be back with more.